Hello, Brubs. We're back with the After Midnight Ghost Book from, I think, the 1980s. 1981 Franklin Watts. And let me get this set up and then I'll start reading. The story doesn't seem to be that long. All right, come on. Let me do it. Change. Look at the candles. After done, save. I done saved it, boy. Love that candle. The Leaning Tower of Candle. All right, Bubs. Is this thing going to save? Thank you. All right, get that on the floor. Let's start reading. The sixth story, Summer, New York, 1978. That's all. By Peter Tinniswood. Supposedly a ghost story. EM is a village in Derbyshire. Of course, these are all British names, so I'm going to get them wrong. In 1665, it was hit by the plague. Within weeks, 80% of the villagers died. Panic raged. The rector alone remained calm. We have a duty to mankind, he preached. We must not flee our village and carry the plague abroad. We must remain in our homes. In our dear little village of EM, we must be prepared to sacrifice ourselves for the good of others. Calmness returned. The villagers bowed their heads, stayed in their plague-stricken village, and threw themselves on the mercy of their God. One man did not. In the dead of night he crept out of the village. He carried the plague deep inside him. His name was Hallam Brandon. New York, in the summer of 1978, Hallam Brandon woke up quickly. Uneasily, the morning was early. The hotel slumbered uneasily. The voice whispered into his ear, "You are sick, friend. You are desperately sick. This is it, friend. This is it." He tried to sit up in bed. He could not. The mind was active. The body would not obey it. The voice took on an urgent tone. "You are dying, friend. No chance. There is no way out for you now, my friend." He struggled with his body. No movement came to it. Only the eyes flickered and focused briefly on a blue and white check sports jacket with a pink carnation in the lapel, and beside it the crumple of a woman's skirt in Indian cotton. A snicker, a cackle. "I told you, friend," said the voice, "you are dead. You are really dead." I am that voice. I am the voice of the plague carried out of that Derbyshire village centuries ago. I am the voice of the ghost that has lived in the bodies of the countless Hallam Brandons who have traveled to the farthest corners of the globe. I am the voice of the ghost that has at long last come alive. At 11 o'clock that morning, the maid came to clean room 487. She had 7 kids, and her man worked the barges on the Erie Canal. What's up, bruv? Sometimes he came home. More often he did not. New York she loathed and despised. She was frightened of it, too. She put the pass key into the lock of room 487. She turned it. She hummed softly to herself as backside first she entered the room, pulling in her trolley of fresh sheets and cleaning things. When she turned and saw the body on the bed, she screamed. She screamed at the top of her voice, bending double and clutching her stomach, she retched. Hallam Brandon heard the key turn in the lock of room 487. He tried to move his head, no go, but he could see everything in the room. It was sharp and clear. He saw the plump backside of the maid flubber into the room. He smelled starch and tart disinfectant. He heard her voice humming. It was a low, tuneless growl. She turned to him. He saw heavy jowls, pink plastic spectacle frames, and a stubble of mustache above a smeared red upper lip. He heard her scream. When he looked down on his body, he screamed too, but no sound came. I am the voice of the plague. I am the voice of the ghost come alive. I see a body stretched out on a slab. It is the body of Hallam Brandon. I see three men in dark rubber smocks, dark green rubber boots, dark green rubber skull caps, and taut white face masks. Incisions are made in the body. Organs are removed. Jesus, sweet Jesus, I am free to go where I please. I am free of my host, the last in a mournful line of mournful men. I see laboratories shrouded in plum red light. I see culture plates and coils of tubing. An office now in a smug, cunning face with powdered jowls and calm, clipped sideburns. It smiles slowly. I have no doubts at all. Our tests have been exhaustive. They prove conclusively that the man, Hallam Brandon, died from the plague. The plague in New York in 1978? Sure. How many people know of this? You, me, Himmelwhite. Himmelwhite? No one else must ever get to know of this. Those are my orders. You understand? You are absolutely clear on this. Sure. Freedom at last. I can go where I please. The whole of the city of New York is open to me. I am the plague, and I am free to choose my next victim. Hallam Brandon had flown into New York one day previously. His mission was to terminate a love affair. This he had promised to his wife, unhappy man. At 30,000 feet high above the storm clouds in mid-Atlantic, the giant jet had retched and heaved. An hour and 15 minutes he had been passing through immigration. The yelping heat bounded at him, smacked him in the guts, and then sensuously and surely sucked the energy from every tired fiber of his body. In the cab from Kennedy Airport, his limbs began to ache, and a slow, corrupting throb came to his temples. More queues in the lobby of the hotel. The wrinkled bellboy in a wrinkled lime green jacket limped up to the desk and picked up the slip of paper. He frowned as he read it painfully. Barden, he croaked. Any guy here answered to the name of Barden? Brandon, said Hallam Brandon. My name is Brandon. Is that who you are looking for? The wrinkled bellboy ran his wrinkled forefinger listlessly across the slip of paper. Barden, Brandon, who cares? He said. Room 487. You follow me, okay? Once in the room, he hung up his blue and white check sports jacket in the closet. He took off his pants and his shoes and his socks and his navy blue silk shirt. He flopped onto the bed and in an instant was asleep. His dreams were troubled, and once he awoke in the darkness, every single sense alert and jangling. He thought he heard a voice whispering in his ear, but he could not be sure. I am the ghost of the plague, the killer. I am alive and free. I am in New York in the late summer of 1978. 10 hours is all I have to live. Without a body to act as host, I shall die. No panic. The whole of teeming, searing, throbbing, snarling, singing, yelping, crooning New York is at my mercy. I have 10 hours to choose my victim. Jesus, what fun. When Halam Brandon awoke from his troubled, whispering sleep, he straightway took his pocketbook from his blue and white check sports jacket, looked up a telephone number, and dialed it. Hi, he said. Marie, who is this, please? Halam. Halam, for goodness sakes, how are you? Grand. Where are you? New York. New York, for goodness sakes, Halam. What are you doing in New York? I've come to see you. To see me? I can meet you for lunch. Oh, Halam, my darling, no. I have to go out of town today. Business. How about this evening? Fine. 9 o'clock? Usual place? Fine. Oh, Halam, what a really swell start to the day. Halam, my sweet, I love you. I really do. Fine. He put down the phone, and this time he heard the voice whispering into his ear, and once more his limbs began to ache. 8 hours to go. How shall I choose my victim? An aimless whim? Why not? This wisp of a girl with sad shoulders and drab ankles, here on the concourse of Grand Central Station. She books a ticket for Poughkeepsie. No, not her. Poughkeepsie has plague enough of its own. What about this jogger here on East River Park? Yellow tracksuit, knotted hairy chest, heaving plates of feet, the look of love in his eyes. No, love is plague enough in itself. And what about here in the flea markets on Canal Street? The fat woman there, running chapped fingers over a bake-like radio. Heavy jowls, pink plastic spectacle frames, and a stubble of moustache above a smeared red lip. Follow the plump backside as it flubbers into Mulberry Street. Follow it as it turns into Kenmare Street. Follow it up the aching stairs of the apartment block. Follow it through the lobby to the peeling, leaking kitchen where a parched man in black vest and denim pants lounges askew in a stiff-backed wooden chair. What in hell are you doing here? They threw me off the barges. What? I ain't got no job. What? And there ain't no beer in the fridge. Son of a bitch. She attacks him with her beaten down slipper. Son of a bitch. You know what I seen this morning in room 487? You know, I seen a body. That's what I seen in room 487. And you're telling me you ain't got no job? Son of a bitch. Pig. She belabors him with her slipper. No, the plague is already on this room and deep within this family. 7 hours to go. All through the long summer afternoon, Halam Brandon sat by the sheep meadow in Central Park. There was pain in his body, but he could not locate its source. There was unease in his mind. The source of that he knew. The voice whispered to him, Remember? Do you remember? He nodded. He remembered. He remembered the basement of a brownstone mansion in Greenwich Village. He remembered a divan bed and a girl stretched out on her back, nut firm breasts and pear smooth thighs. I love you, Halam. I love you, she groaned as her head thrashed from side to side. I love you too, Marie. The voice whispered to him again. Remember, do you remember? He nodded. He remembered. He remembered the garden of a house overlooking a sullen reach of the river Thames. Or is it Thames? He remembered the laughter of children in a treehouse and the steady gaze of eyes set in a puffed and aging face. It's not for me, Halam. It's for the children. You must break with this woman. You have to promise me that. I promise. Dusk came loitering through the park. Halam Brandon shivered. He stood up and brushed the sleeves of his blue and white check sports jacket. An hour to go before his meeting with Marie. The slow, corrupting throb returned to his temples, and he began to shiver violently. What fun, what sport. All the livelong day I have had this city and the people in it at my mercy. Hither and thither I have flitted, Coughing subway trains, a deep-chested bar on the Bowery, the Catholic Church on Lexington and 66th, the foyer of Radio City, the broken-backed drugstore in Yorkville, and the people. An Irish priest with bloodshot tongue, a fat cop with blue bruised elbows, a parched lady selling towels in Macy's, a thin jawed college boy on Coenties slip, a fat arsed matron on Madison. Whom shall I choose as my host? How about this slow souled gigolo in the lobby of the Waldorf Astoria? His date approaches, a gold rinsed hag with doddering arms and pouched neck. She holds out her hand. He takes it and presses it to his lips. He winks at the pianist and raises his eyebrows. No, not worth the bother. And what about this mohair suit, striped shirt, floral tie, stubby socks, inserting his key into the lock of an apartment door on Washington Heights? Smug, cunning face with powdered jowls and calm clipped sideburns. And what sort of a day have you had, my dear? So so, he says, and he accepts the tumbler of cold malt whiskey from his wife with scarcely a glance. Busy? So so, he says. Some guy died in his room, that's all. Oh, the temptation, so strong. I move forward towards him. Yes, this is it. But then, in an instant, I am whisked away, whirled across the city, and then softly and silently deposited in Washington Square. Now I know. Now I know where I must go and whom I must meet. The bar had a mahogany door inlaid with the bases of ancient flat irons. The Flatiron Bar, no less. Hallam Brandon entered. Cramped mahogany booths with bottle glass windows. A springy floor bewhiskered with sawdust. Dusty ancient flat irons hanging from hooks on the ceiling. She was waiting for him in a booth halfway down the room. She gave him a pink carnation. Hallam, Marie, they kissed. My God, Hallam, for goodness sakes, do you look ill? He nodded. They sat side by side, and she held his hand. He drank his bottle of Miller's beer in 3 easy gulps. He did not speak. Why, Hallam? Why have you come all this way to New York? He leaned towards her and placed both his hands on her nut-firm breasts. 2 hours to go. Now I know who is to be my host. Here in this bar I shall find my victim. Springy, bewhiskered floor, bottle glass windows, ancient flat irons. There she is. I spot her in a booth halfway down the room. She wears a long skirt of Indian cotton, and her breasts are free beneath a thin black sweater. She talks intently to a man hunched inside a blue and white check sports jacket with a pink carnation in the lapel. 2 hours to go, 2 hours to savor, 2 hours of freedom, and then I am the dead ghost once more. Listen carefully. You don't love her, Hallam. No, you don't need her, Hallam. No, she's destroying you, eating you alive, cracking your balls. Yes, you need me. I need you. For goodness sakes, my sweet darling Hallam. You love me, don't you? Yes. You're here now in New York with me forever. Yes, promise. I promise. He takes her by the hand, and they leave the bar. I follow. Already I feel the warmth and passion of the body that will be my host. I feel a surge and a thrill. A taxi is hailed. They enter. They embrace. The taxi draws up outside the hotel. They get out. They enter the lobby of the hotel. A wrinkled bellboy in a wrinkled lime green jacket weaves a wrinkled trail towards the lift. They enter the lift. 4 floors up, they get out of the lift. They walk hand in hand along the corridor. They pause outside a door. He takes out his key. He inserts it into the lock. He opens the door. They enter room 487. An hour to go. They made love fiercely, then they made love gently. Hallam Brandon raised himself on one elbow and looked down on her as she slept by his side. On the floor at the foot of the bed, he saw a blue and white check sports jacket with a pink carnation in its lapel and the crumple of a woman's skirt in Indian cotton. I love you, Marie, he whispered. I shall never leave you. Never. I see her stir in her sleep. I see her open her eyes. I see her turn to him and open her arms. I see her hoist herself on top of him, and I see her hips move and her breasts sway. Now is the time to enter her. Softly, carefully, what a body to be my host. What juices to feed on. What passion to feast on. Carefully now as her breasts swing faster and her cries get louder. Careful. Ready? Ready, ready. Now. Jesus, I missed. At 11 o'clock that morning, the maid came to clean room 487. When she turned and saw the body on the bed, she screamed. She screamed at the top of her voice, bending double and clutching her stomach. She retched. It's not much of a ghost story, as I'm coming to find that most of these ghost stories in this book suck. They suck. I mean, this was a decent short story, but I mean, a ghost? Come on now. Come on now, buddy. That's all.